Hi beautiful people, this is Rook and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now today what we're gonna do is how do people perceive you. I wanted to do like a fun little reading and hopefully y'all enjoy it. So we're gonna tap into how do people perceive you, how do strangers perceive you, how do just people around you, how do they perceive you as a person. Now again, disclaimer, we shouldn't care what other people think, right? Disclaimer, we shouldn't care what other people think. We shouldn't care how people perceive us, because at the end of the day, that's their problem, not ours. But sometimes we want to know some stuff, you know? And I think it's okay to tap into it at least a little bit, you know, somewhat. So pile 1, we have this Irene photo card from Red Velvet. She's from Red Velvet. For pile 2, we have Suga from BTS, or I think this is from his solo career. I'm sorry, like if I don't know a lot about K-pop. These are my sisters. So yeah, so this is Suga. And then this is Minji from New Jeans. Right, I think I'm saying her name correctly. Minji from New Jeans. So whatever photo card you were drawn to, you can go to that pile. The timestamp should be in the description down below. So yeah. And I'll see you in your pile. Hi pile 1, if you chose the Irene photo card, this reading is for you. So yeah, so what we're doing is, how are you perceived? Like, how do people perceive you in a way? Okay, so the way I want to do this is, of course, I do want to show, I feel like this reading might be a little bit shorter than the other ones I used to do, so I feel like we should just do it from scratch and just do it like I just shuffle on camera, and I just shuffle how I'm gonna see, like basically we'll see what happens. But first we'll tap into this deck. This is the archetypes, the well unknown archetypes. Okay, so how are you perceived? How do people perceive you? That one. Oh, okay, that was fast. I feel like we should get that one too. And the animal. Okay, automatically I do feel like you're a risk taker, and I feel like people perceive you as someone that is, yeah, the seed. I feel like you could be on the younger side. Younger, like maybe you're like with the eternal child. Yeah, I feel like either you're on the younger side of your, like maybe early 20s, but also I can see you being very just very childlike at your core. You know, I feel like you're like, I feel like people perceive you as somebody that is really risky and like very risk taker. Like you don't care about the consequences in a way, you know, like I feel like people perceive you that way. And I feel like it seems like you're young at heart, or you just come off very youthful in a way. Can you see these? Oh my god, you couldn't see. I'm so sorry, you couldn't see them. But yeah, I think I think you're kind of seen as somebody that's very youthful and very much like, you come off like, oh, I'll deal with the consequences when they come. Like, I think you don't think about it so much. Like, you could be a fire sign. This is giving very much Sagittarius, Aries energy, even maybe Gemini. But you don't have to be. You could just you can have any placements, but you don't have to be that sign. You can be risky and have any sign. But I do feel like this is very much somebody that is very risky, and like, I don't know, it makes me laugh because I don't know, it's just it's cool, it's nice energy, because yeah, of course, like, yeah, maybe you don't think about the consequences, but it's like, you know, like you're like, I'm just having fun, like I'm just trying to live my life, you know. And I feel like you come off that way to other people as well. And I think, okay, weirdly enough, I think Irene is an Aries. So you could be an Aries for sure. Like, I think Irene is an Aries, if I'm not mistakenly wrong. Like, I think she is. I don't know though. But yeah, I feel like you come off very much like risky and very much like people perceive you as risky. Maybe like even because I hear somebody, like I hear work. So maybe even at work or at school, you come off very much like you don't care, or like you kind of just do what you want to do. Very like, what's that saying? Like you walk to the beat of your own drum. Is that the saying? Like that's how you come off. Like you do your own thing, and I feel like people perceive you that way. Really, like I keep saying risky, like risky. I don't know why. Like you just come off very risky, or like a risk taker. Like you don't I don't know, you don't, like I just heard bother, so you don't bother a lot. Like you just kind of do your own thing, and I feel like people perceive you that way too. And I feel like you could be very young. Like I feel like you're in the more younger side. If not, you just come off very youthful. Maybe you get a lot of people saying that you look very young, and you could be like older than they expect. Okay, so let's go into tarot. How do people perceive you? How do people perceive you? Okay, yeah, can you see that? Yeah, I think either you have a lot of friends, or a lot of people want to be your friend. I can see, I feel like I feel like you have a lot of friends. Like, I feel like maybe you don't stick to one group of friends. Like, you have a lot of friends everywhere. Like, you're very much like, oh, I know people from here, I know people from here, I know people from here. Like, you don't stick in one friend group. You kind of are all over the place, you know? And I feel like people naturally like you. Like I do think people naturally very much like they want to be your friend. I think they find you really interesting, and they find you very much like just cool to be around. I do think they find you very interesting and just fun to be around, and like very much just like they want to be your friend. And either they are, like, a lot of people are your friend, or they just every single time someone talks to you or gets to know you a little bit more, they want to be your friend. I feel like they want to be around you more, you know? I feel like that's how they perceive you, how people perceive you. Like they automatically want to be your friend in a way. Yeah, it's because you have a soft heart. Like I feel like you have a very much like a soft heart, and I feel like you're a very authentic person. Like you could be an Aquarius, because the Three of Cups always gives me like Aquarius vibes in a way, like a little bit, even though it's cups, and cups is water energy, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. And the cups, you know, it's water signs in general. But I do feel like when I see the Three of Cups, especially right now in this one, it's coming off very Aquarius. And I feel like you are very much like friend-oriented person. Maybe you could be an air sign, like Libra or Gemini. But like you're very much like a friend-oriented person. Like I feel like you're very authentic with your... I heard partnerships, but I also hear like... I feel like you're very authentic when it comes to people in general. Like once someone meets you, it's who you are. You know, like you're not masking, you're not showing other people who you, like you're not faking it. You're not a fake person to a certain extent. I feel like you're very authentic in a way that people will automatically see your authenticity, and they perceive your authenticity as being very friendly and very like, you're very likable. I feel like you are a very likable person. You know, like I feel like you're a very likable person. And I think you know this in a way, like Knight of Cups. I think you know this of like you're like, I'm just being, like I just heard somebody say like, I'm just being me and people just love me. You know, like I feel like you kind of know this. You know, like I think you kind of know that people are like interested in you, or like people are naturally just want to be around you more. And I feel like you just know this energy. Like you know that people, because you just pick up on the vibe. Yeah, Ace of Crystals. And I feel like I feel like they see you as very reliable as well. Like maybe people perceive you as very reliable. Can you see this? Yeah, okay. Let me move this a little bit, because I want to put another card there. Yeah, I feel like people see you as very reliable as well. And to a certain extent, I can see people seeing you as like very like a loner type, like very alone, but also you have a lot of friends. It's so weird because I think you kind of come off as like, maybe this is true, like you'd rather be alone than to hang out with people, even though you're friendly with everybody. Like you're not, I don't think you're a mean person. I don't think you're trying to push people away. It just seems like you're very much like, you just rather be alone. Like there's no like, there's no reading between the lines of this. Like you just genuinely just want to be alone sometimes, and you value your alone time. You value your solitude. And I think people see that. If anything, I think people perceive you as very much like a loner in a way, but also very much friendly. I feel like they see you as very friendly and very much like just in your own world, but practically. Like you're I feel like you are a very practical person and very reliable. I feel like if somebody asks you to do something or somebody asks for a favor, you are there to do it. Like you're not afraid to be reliable. And I feel like that's why people perceive you as a really good friend or someone that they want to be around, because you are a very reliable friend. You are a very reliable person. At least you're being perceived that way. Yeah. Let's get another card. It's the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you just rather be alone. Like it's an interesting sense. Like I think you just rather be alone, and you just don't want to like engage with a lot of people, you know? And I feel like you don't want to engage with a lot of people or like be around a lot of people, and people perceive that. I think people pick up on that. Like especially the more intuitive people, I feel like they kind of pick up on how you want to be alone or left alone to a certain extent. But you are your own person. I feel like you come off very much like, people perceive you as somebody that's very much like alone and want to be a loner, but you don't care. Like you generally do not care what other people think of you to a certain extent, which is kind of contradicting because you clicked on the video, but it's not like a bad thing. I just think it's like contradicting. Anyway, still love you though, I'm just saying. But I do think you're very much like, you don't care what other people think to a certain extent. Like of course I feel like we all as human, we care what other people think, or we care how we're being perceived, but not in like, we just need to try to balance it out with not caring as much, you know, like because, you know, perceptions don't matter to a certain extent. But I understand, like we should understand it in a way that's like, I feel like you might be an Aquarius, because I feel like I can speak to you like I'm about to go like I'm about to like I was about to go like rambling about this, my perspective, and it's, I feel like because it's very much like Aquarius, or very much just like Gemini, like just somebody that you can just talk to. Like I feel like you're just somebody that people can talk to about the most random things. And I feel like that's why I kind of want to ramble about it, because I think you just come off like that vibe of like, people just want to talk to you about random things, and people just want to, like, you can just have these open conversations with people and they're happy with it. Like they're very much like, wow, this person's cool. But in reality, you just kind of let them talk and you just listen. Like it seems like they just really like enjoy your company, and they enjoy that people, like I feel like a lot of people enjoy your company because you let them talk about the most weirdest things and you have no judgment. You are a very sweet person, I think, and very loving and very caring as well, even if sometimes you might not want to admit it with the Queen of Crystals here. Like even though maybe something you don't want to admit it, but you are a very intuitive and very caring person when it comes to the people around you, especially if you have a child. Like if you're like a parent, I feel like you are a very caring person naturally. So yeah, I think people perceive you as very caring, and people perceive you as someone that they want to be friends with, and they want to be around you more. Yeah. And if this isn't resonating, like you're like, oh, nah, I don't believe that, I feel like it's because you're kind of contradicting your own beliefs of like, oh, people don't want to be friends with me. Like, nah, I'm weird. Like, I'm a weirdo. Like, I'm not, people don't want to be friends with me. But I think you're not giving yourself grace in a way that's like, people want to be around you. People want to talk to you. People want to get to know you more. It's just now it's kind of your part to be open to that to a certain extent. Like, I can see you very much like, oh, people don't want to be around me. And then when someone tries to be around you, you're like, no. Like, you know, try not to push people away. I think that could be like a part of your advice. Like, try not to push people away. That's because people want to be around you. People want to get to know you. People want, like, they think you're cool. You know, especially if you have piercings, because I see like her ears. You see her ears? So if you have multiple piercings in your ears, I feel like that could be significant too. I feel like people notice that about you. And if you have curly hair as well, I feel like people notice that about you too. Like if you have big hair, I feel like people notice that. Yeah, because with the jellyfish here, jellyfish could be significant. Like the sea, the water, you know, could be significant. But with this, I can see like your hair or like your hairstyles could be very significant. People notice your hairstyles, and I feel like if you don't get a lot of compliments about your hair, I feel like people perceive them as very nice and very cool, and like you're just a very cool person in general. I feel like you come off very cool. And I feel like because like you express yourself in your own way, and people see that, people perceive that, and people see how you express yourself in a very authentic way, and they admire that to a certain extent. Like they wish they were you. No, I'm just kidding. But like they wish like they could do that as well, you know? It's hard to express yourself authentically, but I think you do it very chill and very cool in a cool way, you know? And very much just like, I want to do me. You know, you're a very independent person as well, I think. So yeah, let's get some, like if this was short, it's because I don't want to get too in depth with the perception, you know, because I feel like it could, you know, like I don't know, it's just it's a sensitive topic, you know. But let's just get some advice for this pile. Let's get some advice for you. Have very purple. Believe in the impossible. Yeah, I think yeah, don't let pride get in your way, full moon and Leo. Yeah, I can see, like, I feel like you just have to have, like, especially if you feel like you don't have a lot of friends, or you feel like you are very lonely, I feel like it's okay to put yourself out there. It's okay to want connection with other people, like, especially friendships. Like, it's okay to want a friend. It's okay to build friendships. Like, it's not, especially if you're on the older side, I feel like a lot of older people, it's very difficult to have friends or to create friendships when you're older, because like, you know, you're all over the place, and like it's just different. It's a different vibe when you're older to create friends. But it seems like you're very much like, oh, like maybe you feel like people don't understand you to a certain extent, like you don't want to feel misunderstood when you talk to people. But I feel like you need to believe that you are worth talking for. Like, people want to speak to you, people want to talk to you more, and I feel like you have to believe that. You, like, this power is very much like, believe compliments. If someone's complimenting you and you know it's coming from a genuine place, believe them, believe compliments, and believe what they say. Like, especially if it's a compliment, like, believe what they say, and don't see it as like, oh, they're just being nice to me, they're just saying it because they feel bad for me. No, people are being genuine with you, and I think you need to acknowledge that. Let's get one more card for advice. Sometimes life stings. Wasp spirit. Yeah, and then the otter spirit, you are never alone. Yeah, I feel like if you feel lonely right now, or you feel like you feel very misunderstood in general, I feel like spirit wants to tell you that, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, trust me, like that sucks. And I feel like some validation isn't bad. Like the validation that it freaking sucks to be alone. It freaking sucks to feel very misunderstood. But I think something that you need to remember is that, first of all, you are a very beautiful person. And I think maybe you don't hear that often. You are a very beautiful person. And physically and internally, like especially internally, because that's where it matters. You know, like everyone says that beauty fades away, and it does. But what I'm saying is, like, internally, you are a very beautiful person. And I bet physically you are that, you know, you are bad. You know what I mean? I bet you are. But I think they want to remind you, like, that it sucks to be alone sometimes. It sucks to feel misunderstood. But this is very much like trial and error. Like, it's okay to try again and get the results that you don't want. It's okay to try again and not get the results you want. But I promise you, like, you'll get there. And you'll find your spirit family, or you'll find your family. You know, you'll find your people eventually. And I think you just have to have faith that you will find your people. And you don't have to live your life alone. You will always find your people, and the people will find you. So yeah, I hope that resonated, and I hope please comment down below if it did, or if it didn't. I don't know, like but if it, like, just let me know, like, just comment whatever you want. But thank you for watching, and I hope it resonates. And I do personal readings on my Instagram, so if you want a personal reading, you can DM me. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi Pile 2, if you chose this sugar photo card, this reading is for you. Now, the way I'm gonna do this is, of course, I'm gonna use this deck, and we're just gonna go with it. Like, we're just gonna see how people perceive you, how do the people around you perceive you, you know, anything that wants to come out. Okay, so we'll see. Let's see how it goes. How do people perceive you? Aye. Should I take them all? Okay, I will. Something about your eyes could be significant. Like, maybe you wear glasses, or you have very, like, prominent eyes. You could have big eyes, or like very just prominent eyes. Like, people maybe notice your eyes all the time. And with this warrior here, I feel like you have a story to tell. Like, I feel like people, like, you have a story to tell. Like, maybe you never have a boring life, if that makes sense. Like, maybe you always have something happening to you. Or this is very Saturn energy. Like, very much like there's always something happening to you, or for you, or you just feel like something's happening to you all the time. Like, there's, like, you can't, this is giving off very much like you feel like you can't rest to a certain extent. And maybe you're always reaching. Okay, but this isn't about you. This is about how people perceive you. But I feel like people perceive you as somebody that has a story. Like, even if you think you don't, like, you think you're, I feel like maybe if you do think your life is boring or whatever, I feel like you come off like you have a story to tell, or like people want to listen to you, you know? With the Judge here, I feel like people want to listen to you because I feel like your perspective is very interesting. People find your perspective to be very interesting. Yeah, with the Vision here, with the Vision at the bottom of the deck, like, I feel like people perceive you as somebody very much like, oh, you couldn't see him, I'm sorry, but it seems like you're very much like, sorry, I'm trying to see if you can see him, but you're very much like, people know your perspective and people value your perspective. Like, I think they really want, like, I don't know, they just really care about your perspective in a way. Like, I feel like maybe you are very much like, you're very wise, you know, it seems like you come off like very like you balance your mind with your heart. You know, you're very logical, but you're also very emotional to a certain extent. So you know how to give great advice. Maybe like maybe people come to you for advice. Yeah, with the vision here as well. Like it seems like people really value your perspective. Like they value your perspective. They value your perspective and perception as well. Like they value your advice, and they value how you, I don't know, how you, maybe how you speak as well. Like there's something about voice here as well. And with the judge here, you could maybe maybe you're in school to be a judge or to be a lawyer in some sense, like in the law, you know, department. So that could be significant, or maybe you're thinking about it. I heard master's degree, so maybe you're thinking of getting your master's, or something like that. But it seems like you have a story to tell, or people perceive you as somebody that has a story to tell, because maybe you're a very wise person. And like, of course, a lot of people that are wise is because they live their life with different experiences and they learn from it. That's why people become wise, because they learn from the experiences that they deal with or that they're in to a certain extent. So I feel like you come off very wise and very much like you know what the frick you're talking about, you know. So let's see how people perceive you with the tarot. How do people perceive power? The Magician. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. Very wise. Like you are a very wise person. Even if you don't think you are, I feel like people perceive you as very wise and you know what the heck you're talking about. Like I feel like people perceive you as somebody like when you speak, everybody is like quiet. Like when you speak or when you say something, everyone's quiet. Like everyone's like, oh, let's listen to them, you know. Let's listen to them. And this could be a significant, but the cat here is very much like, if you have a cat, maybe people like your cat. I don't know, like that could be just a little message there. Like if you have a cat, like, and people know about your cat, they probably like your cat. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like you're very much like very wise. Like this is coming off like very Virgo energy. Like maybe you come off very Virgo. And very mentor energy. I know the mentor isn't here. There is a card with the mentor on it. But I feel like you're very much like, people want to learn from you. Like people are very much like, they're willing to learn from you, because I feel like you have a lot of things to teach to a certain extent. You know, like I feel like you have a lot of things to teach and a lot of things to share when it comes to your wise words and your perspective. Like I feel like people want to listen to you. You know, and I feel like this, oh my god, look how these look. This looks like this is the older her. Like this is old, like this is her young, and then this is her older. I hope that makes sense. Like it seems like you're very much just like so wise. And I don't know if you're wise for your age, or you're literally like, you might be just older than a lot of people around you, or you're just an older person and you learned with your years to be wiser, and you are a very wise person and people ask you for advice, you know. But even if you're not as like older, and you could be like in your early 20s for all I know, like I don't know, like it seems like you just come off very wise and very much like you know what the heck you're talking about, you know, because you just learn. You, with everything that you do, you just learn from it. I think because you're willing to learn, and I think a lot of people aren't willing to learn. And I think you're very much like, if I'm willing to learn about everything around me and about myself. And if you come off that way too, very wise. Yeah, I think that's the sun. Yeah, like very just wise in general. Very wise and very happy. I feel like you come off very happy and very much like just always just having a smile on your face, even if you are feeling like sad or you feel bad about something. I feel like you're always very optimistic, and I feel like you come off as very optimistic. Like look at the bright side. Like you're very much like, look at the bright side. Like you're very much the half full type of person, like half the cup is half full. And I feel like you're very much just like that energy. Like people care about what you think. People want to know what you think, you know? Very, very much like just wise. I just keep saying wise and very just if this is a specific message, but if you have a garden or if you grow flowers specifically, I feel like people notice that and people like that you grow that. Like I feel like people just notice that you do that. Very like environmentally friendly to a certain extent. Yeah, with the sun here, I feel like you could grow plants or something like that. And I feel like people see that. Let's get one more card. Death. Yeah, I think a lot of people with the death here, right? Don't get scared with the death. It's okay, I promise. I'm just trying to see if everything is on screen. I hope it is. I mean, I can't do anything about that now. But with the death here, I can see I can see people seeing you going through rebirths and like being born again. Like it's very much just like you're just a wise person. Even if you don't think you are, I feel like people perceive you as very wise and you know what the heck you're talking about. Like if with any subject, I feel like people like they just want to listen to your perspective of any this is given very much like, I don't know if you ever watched Hamilton or like you know about Hamilton. A lot of people cared about what Hamilton thought, the musical, right? Like a lot of people cared about what Hamilton thought because people cared about his perspective. People cared about who he was gonna vote for, you know? People just cared about what his perspective was about this whole American Revolution type of thing, you know? And I feel like you come off that way of like, people just care about what you think. They care about your opinions. They care about what you think about what, like, you know, like whatever it is, it's like they care about what you think because it seems like you come off very correct and very right, if that makes sense. Like I feel like whatever you say is to a certain extent correct. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's just like I think they kind of see you as very correct and very much just like, yeah, this is my opinion. If you don't agree with me, okay. Like, but I feel like a lot of people naturally just want to agree with you, you know? Like, you come off like if I'm being honest, you come off as like, oh, the sky is green. And then they're like, no, it's not. But yeah, look at it. And then you're like, the sky is green. And they're like, well, maybe it is. Maybe it's a different shade of green. You know, like they're trying to give you like, I feel like they want to believe what you say and they want to, they like just trust what you say a lot of the times. And I don't know if it's because you attract gullible people or it's because you just genuinely know what you're saying, but you come off very much just like people know to believe you and people know to not judge your perspective very fast. Like people want to listen to you. People want to know your perspective. People want to know why you think the way you do, you know? So let's get some advice for you. Let's get some advice. And the sun is Leo energy. So fire sign, Leo. And death is Scorpio, I think. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to burp. Sorry, excuse me. And you could be a teacher as well. Like you could be somebody that just teaches people. It could be anything. Like you could be a yoga instructor. You can be just somebody that just teaches a subject to somebody else. Like people just want to listen to you. Like you just have this you have this power. No, I don't want to say power because it shouldn't be a power dynamic. It's more just like you have this kind of voice to you that people just want to listen to. And I feel like maybe you could be a teacher, you could be a yoga instructor, you could be a gymnast, you can be just somebody that knows about their stuff, You know, you could be a spiritual oh my god, spiritual practitioner. You could do what I do and people just want to listen about your perspective. It could be as simple as that. It's nothing too crazy, but it just seems like you just know what the heck you're talking about. So you're very close achieving your goal. This could be a personal, I can see this being personal for you, like maybe like you're manifesting something, or you really want something to happen to you or happen for you, and I feel like that's confirmation that it's like coming towards you. You know, like maybe you're thinking of starting your own business, or you're thinking of maybe making a podcast to a certain extent, and maybe you're like very close to it, like maybe you're doing everything you have to do to get there, and now it's like now you just have to start, you know, like to a certain extent. But I do feel like you're getting there, like especially if you're trying to start something new. I feel like you're getting there very close. You're very close to that. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're thinking of starting a podcast, or you're thinking of doing like just something that you just speak and you use your voice and you just, people are listening to you. Like I just saw a TED Talk, like maybe you trying to do a TED Talk or something, like you want to share your perspective, and like people want to listen to you. I feel like a lot of people want to listen to you, so I feel like that's how people perceive you. They care about your voice. So we got Moth Spirit, surrender now. With the Moth Spirit, surrender now. Life is a mystery. Like a Prayer by Madonna. With Moth Spirit here, I can see like you don't, like, I want to remind you that you don't have to live up by other people's perspective of you. Like if people think you're very smart, or people think that you're very much like, oh, she knows what she's doing, whatever, and then let's say you mess up something, like you shouldn't care, you know, like people's perspective of you, people's expectations of you shouldn't matter, because you, at the end of the day, you are human and you will make mistakes. That is inevitably true, you know, like that's gonna happen. Okay, like I think something you have to remind yourself, like you will make mistakes. You are human, and it's okay to surrender that. It's okay to not live up from other people's perspectives. So if you are going towards something that you generally like doing, and you generally like, this is your goal, this is your dream to do, go for it. Like you have to surrender to the fact that maybe a lot of people won't agree with what you're doing, and that's okay. It's not for them, it's for you. You know, remind yourself it's not for you, it's for me. You know, remind yourself of that, like it's for yourself, it's not for anybody else. And I think you need to surrender that thought process of like, okay, what if I disappoint this person, or what if I disappoint this group, like what if I do this, who cares? You know, if you're not hurting anybody, if you're not doing hate speech, if you're not just doing something that could negatively affect a group of people, a person, anybody around you, you're not doing anything wrong, I promise. If you know it's not gonna hurt anybody, you're not doing anything wrong, I promise you. So if you are thinking of doing something because you feel like you're very drawn to it, and you're very much, I feel like this is gonna make me very happy, do it. You don't have to accept any you don't have to accept anybody's blessing to a certain extent for this, you know. So just go for it and do it, because I think at the end of the day it will make you happier than you already are. So yeah, I heard transition, so whatever that means. Maybe this is a whole new and yeah, with the death here, it could be a whole new transition era for you, or something like changing within you, or physically changing. So yeah, I hope this resonated, and I hope it helped you with some peace. But yeah, I hope it resonates, and thank you for watching. If you're thinking of getting a personal reading from me, you can go on my Instagram and DM me. I will DM you back eventually, and I can give you a reading from there. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye. Hi pile 3. If you chose the Minji photo card, this reading is for you. Now, before we start, well, no, I wasn't gonna say anything, to be honest. We're gonna use this deck. This is the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, and we're gonna see how people perceive you. For pile 3, how do people perceive pile 3? Oh, there's too many, but I'll keep them in mind just in case. How do people perceive pile 3? The Orphan? Can I get one more, please? How do people perceive pile? Oof. Okay. Or sensual, very sensual person. Like maybe you come off as very much like, are these on? Yeah, I feel like you come off very much just like very sensual to a certain extent, very much like because I saw arrows. I don't know if I saw arrows. That's like the, I don't know. Okay, let me find it. This deck is so big that I can't believe I'm doing this. Can I get a kiss? Can you make it? This one. I saw this card. I saw it when I was shuffling, and it stayed with me, so I'm gonna take it out. And I feel like with the arrows here, I feel like you're a very sensual person, like very much just like, maybe you care about the finer things in life. You know, you really do care about the finer things in life, and I feel like you come off that way as well. Like maybe you wear expensive jewelry, you have expensive bags, or you have expensive anything. Like you like the finer things in life, for sure. I heard Bougie, Bad and Bougie by Migos and Lil Uzi Vert. So I feel like you're very much just like, you know, you just like the finer things in life, and that's not bad. I don't think that's bad. You know, just be ethical, you know. But I feel like you really do like the finer things in life, and you really do just really care about your comfort, you know, because I feel like if you are very uncomfortable, you get very much like you are not okay if you're uncomfortable, you know. This is giving very Taurus energy. Yeah, like I feel like you just like the feelings of things. Like maybe like you're very much just like very like just like you just like texture, maybe like you very like like maybe like this is a really specific message, is that like maybe your bed has to be specifically soft, or like they have to be a specific type. Like there's something here about specificness. Like there's something like you come off very specific and very much just like this has to be this way, or like this has to be this way. Very fixed energy. That's why I'm saying Taurus. But like I feel like you come off very that like very much like you know what you want, you know what you like, and you know what you don't like, and you know what you don't want. Like, you know, that was a handful of sentence, but it seems like you come off that way, and people notice that about you. Like you know what you want, and you know what you don't want. It's not that hard, you know. Like it seems like it's very much just like this yes, this no, you know. So let's get some tarot about how people perceive you. People perceive. Yeah, because the one that came out earlier was the siren as well, so I wouldn't be surprised like if like people just you just come off very bougie, like very bad and bougie, which isn't bad. I don't want to say that that's bad. I'm just saying, like, you come off that way. You come off as like, I know what I like, and I know what brings me comfort. Like, you know, like, you just know. Very much just like, I know what I like, and there's nothing you can do about it, you know? Okay, how are you perceived? How do people perceive you? Yep, like I said. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. Yeah. You're very much just like, yeah, you like, this is giving very Taurus energy. You could be very possessive with your things. Like maybe like maybe you don't, like, I know a lot of Taurus placements, they don't invite people to their home. Like they do not like when people are like, if you are in a Taurus placement's home, it's because they must really 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 love you. Like there's nothing, like they really really do care for you, and they really really do love you. Like they don't mind you being there. Like I've noticed a lot of Taurus placements, maybe even Cancer placements, they really really don't like inviting people to their house. Like they're willing to go to yours, but they don't want you to come to their home and to their house, because they're very possessive in a really healthy way of like, if they have, let's say they have a plant, right, and it's specifically in the corner of the table. You come to their house, you move the plant to the other corner. Shit's fire. Like hell's fire. Like that's like literally, like, don't do that. Like you have to respect Taurus's place. Like even like I could add Cancer as well. Even Pisces, I would add Pisces there too. You cannot mess with their things. They are very much just like, they like it a certain way, and you can't change that about them. You know, especially their home life. They have that there specifically because they want it there. Like there's, you know, you can't change anything about that. And I feel like you come off that way too. Like you're very much just like, don't mess with anything that's mine. Like don't touch anything, don't do anything. Like just, you know, because I feel like that makes them very uncomfortable if you just come to their house, or if you know, like if someone comes to your house, if they don't respect your house, you're very much just like, or your home, or like anything. Like it could be like if you own a purse, right, or a bag, you could literally be like, you don't let anybody go in there. You don't have anything like illegal in there. I mean, as far as I know, I don't know, no judgment, but like, let's say you have nothing illegal in there. It's just literally your wallet, your phone, your AirPods, headphones, whatever. Like it's nothing too crazy, but yet you don't want anybody to look in there because it's like, it's your personal space, you know? So I feel like you come off that way. You come off very like, I heard secluded, but also you come off very like, what's that word? Like I have a word specifically. I guess secluded, but also very much like, what's that word? I'm sorry, I can't find the word, but it'll come back if it wants to come back. But you just come off very secluded and very much just like not as open, you know, like very much just like that you have your walls up to a certain extent. I can see you having walls up, but because you don't trust anybody, like you don't trust just anybody in your circle. You don't trust just anybody in your energy, because you really do value your own energy. And I feel you come off that way. People perceive you as somebody that is very hard to get to know to a certain extent, because you don't trust people easily. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you don't trust people easily, and I feel like people can pick up on that. And it could be with the orphan here, because it could be because of your past or your childhood. Like it's just harder for you to trust, because, you know, with the orphan here. So it's like, you're not just gonna give that trust away so easily, you know. But something that I've learned, right, you don't have to take my advice, of course you don't have to, but something I learned is that if you trust people, or if you give them especially if they're trying with you and they're trying to get to know you more, and they want to be your friend, or they want to be around you more, it's okay like to trust that. And then when they give you a reason not to trust them, that's when you don't trust them. You don't have to not trust people right away, you know, because that could be exhausting, you know. But you don't have to listen to me, but what I've noticed, that's something that I've noticed, that That's my hair, sorry. But something I've noticed is that people, you kind of have to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, like it's okay to trust them. Maybe not like 100%, but give them space to show you that they can trust you, or that you can trust them. You know, and then let this play out for more and more time, and see if they give you a reason not to trust them. You know, people should give you reasons not to trust them. People never give you reasons to trust them, but they more likely will give you a reason to not to trust them, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. Whatever though. Let's see how they perceive you. Knight of Crystal. Yeah, very like, this is mine, you go in your own way, this is my space. Like, you're very much just like that, like very much like, this is my space, you cannot come into my space, no thank you. Like, you're very much just like me, like, this is my space, don't come near me, don't do this. And I feel like you come off that way. People like if you don't want people around you, I feel like people kind of pick up on that you're very much secluded and very much just like not as open to connections, or not as open to friendships. You know, because I heard resting bitch face. So you can have RBF. You can have an RBF to a certain extent. Yeah, I feel like you come off as very untrustworthy, because not because people don't trust you, it's because you don't trust other people, and you're willing to walk away from things. You're willing to not trust other people, and you're willing to just walk away from situations. You're not afraid to walk away, and people know that. That's why I feel like people know that, like, people perceive that from you, that if they come towards you, they have to come right. If they don't come right, then you're not afraid to walk away. And I feel like people notice that, people see that if they treat you wrong, or if they don't come towards you the right way, like, you're not afraid to walk away. And I feel like people know that. People perceive you as that as well. Oh, I haven't seen that card. That's a cute card. Yeah, like, you like the finer things in life for sure. Look at her in the bathtub. Like, you like the finer things in life. You like relaxation. You like just all that. And a bag of chips, literally. Yeah, but very possessive with your energy. You are very possessive with your own energy, which isn't bad. I think you should take care of your energy. You should be mindful who comes into your energy, you know? And people know that. I think people perceive that as well, that maybe I can see this pile having like 1 or 2 friends, and that's it. Like, because you don't trust people so easily. Like, you don't, sorry, excuse me. Like, you don't, like, yeah, you just don't trust people easily, or like, you just don't, I feel like maybe to a certain extent, you don't have the energy to create new friendships right now, especially. Like, maybe you're not in the state to, like, trust people. Like, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, you would love to have more friends, or maybe you would like to have more friends, but I feel like right now you're not in a state to create friendships. You're not in a state to trust people. I think the trust part is very significant for you. Like, you're not in a, like, it's very hard for you to trust. And I heard trust again. So I feel like it's just very hard for you to trust people in general, that it makes it very difficult for you to have friends or to create new friendships with people. Because I can see you having like 1 or 2 close friends, and that's it. You know, like, very close to you. And I feel like it just takes you a while to very trust people. And like, look at, okay, this is significant, but she has blue, this person has pink, and purple. So maybe you dye your hair different colors, and people will see that. People, if anything, they liked it. I feel like they really do enjoy your hair colors if you dye your hair different colors, especially. Anyway, but I do feel like a lot of people just perceive you as somebody that's just very much like, if you're gonna come towards me, you better come right. You know, you better come nice and sweet, but also no BS, you know? So let's come off. Sorry. Let's get some advice for you. Energy is giving momentum at the bottom of the deck. Take time to breathe out. Yeah, I think what this is saying, if I'm being honest, I think what this is saying is it's okay to trust people. I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger. Like, I think it's okay to, like, it's okay to trust people. It's okay to put yourself out there again. Like, it's okay to create friendships with people. It's okay to trust them. And I think that's something you have to remind yourself. Like, it's okay to trust people. It's okay. Because I feel like, if anything, if you don't trust people, or if you don't trust the people around you, it's going to hurt you more than anybody else. So just remind yourself of that. Like, remind yourself of that it's okay to trust people. Sorry. Oh, I was choking on air, I swear. Okay. Let's get a card from the Spirit Animal Oracle for some advice. You got the Beaver Spirit. Lay a solid foundation. How are you gonna, be honest, how are you gonna create new friendships or new connections if you can't trust them? Like, be honest with yourself. Like, how is that possible if you can't give them the benefit of the doubt and like, just give them something to work with so they can build this trust with you? You know, how are you gonna do that? How are you gonna build new connections and new friendships if you can't trust them? Especially if they haven't given you a reason not to trust them. Unless they gave you a reason not to trust them, then that's a different story, and I think that's something very specific to you and whatever you want to do with that. That's, you know, what you have my support, you know. But I feel like if they haven't given you a reason not to trust them, it's okay to give them a little bit of grace and give them a little bit of space so they can show you that they're trustworthy, you know. So it's okay to give them that solid foundation of, like, okay, I'm gonna be open to this, you know. And then if they give you a reason, or if they do something sketchy, or they do something that you just don't like, that's your time to be like, okay, I'm gonna walk away from this because I didn't really enjoy that, you know. So that's what I think that's what it is. So yeah, I think that's all I have. But I hope this resonated, and I just hope it resonates. I hope it resonated, and thank you for watching. If you're looking for a personal reading, I do have I have my bookings you can book a reading with me. I'm sorry, I don't know why I couldn't figure out the sentence. But you can book a reading with me on my Instagram. You just have to DM me. And yeah, I will see you on my next one. Bye.